Bryan Cranston was in Argo? I forgot about that. Oh my god.
That's definitely going in the clip.
And action. Perfect. Cut.
Ready? Here we go. And we're live in 3, 2, 1. Hello, listeners. Welcome to episode 3 of Chicks Dig Flicks, the movie podcast where we talk about movie news and reviews and other things that don't rhyme with movie news and reviews. My name is Anna.
I'm Abby.
I'm Maya.
All right, let's go into the movie news of the week. So, first thing we have here is Quentin Tarantino has released a list of his 10 favorite movies from this year. Does he do this every year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think he does.
Wow, he just thinks he's so important.
I know Spike Lee puts out every time, like almost every year, his new list of favorite movies of all time, or movies you have to see as a film student, which is a pretty good list.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to read everything on this list, but some standouts here, I think, are Kick-Ass 2. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino was a big fan. And The Lone Ranger. So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting picks.
Yeah,
Quentin.
It was very interesting. I mean, most of it, he has Before Midnight Blue Jasmine, which I agree heavily. Oh, and Francis Ha.
Gravity, yeah.
And Gravity, which I agree wholeheartedly.
But Kick-Ass 2 and The Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Oh, This Is the End is on there. I forgot. That's a good movie.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to see that so bad.
It's a good one.
Yeah, The Lone Ranger was everyone was like, what? And then he came out with another article about...
He's like, guys, I just like the trains.
I just like the train scenes.
I don't really like it, you guys.
You should talk about the other piece of news, at least the one I had. I didn't put it on there, though. That Helena Bonham Carter released a statement kind of thing, or said to press that she thought that The Lone Ranger was kind of received like Fight Club, I guess, and that no one really understood it. And I'm like,
So she thinks it's going to be a cult hit in 5 years' time?
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, oh, Helena.
Oh, Helena.
Baby.
Honey, no. No.
I like trains, too. But no.
I like the William Tell overture, but no. Okay, in other misogynistic news, Disney executives say that women are hard to animate because they have so many emotions.
Yeah. It was like...
I apologize on behalf of women. Jesus.
So this executive, whose name is Lino DeSalvo, I don't know, says, historically speaking, animating female characters are really, really difficult because they have to go through these range of emotions. But they're really very, very... You have to keep them pretty, and they're very sensitive to... You can get them off a model very quickly. So having a film with two hero female characters was really tough, etc., etc. So basically, he is congratulating himself and the Disney animators for Frozen, which will apparently have 2 female leads, because it was a real challenge to animate all those gosh darn emotions that we women have.
I know.
And keep us pretty at the same time.
And keep us pretty.
It's weird because, I've seen other, animation, particularly I'm just thinking Legend of Korra or Avatar The Last Airbender, and they're not afraid to get ugly with their faces.
No.
Or get exaggerated or get, really tough, and it still is able to make way better, feminist characters, women characters than I've seen in Disney.
Yeah.
Throughout time, so step it up. You're just you're failing now. It's not even something hard to grasp. I mean, the animation here is different. I mean, more, advanced than what they're using for Korra, but still, step it up.
This was really disheartening to hear because our discussion last week about Disney princess movies, I really thought that I thought the Disney executives were trying to progress their films, but if they're still worried about just making women pretty, that's depressing. I'm sad.
Yeah, I guess there's enough problems with Frozen, and now I'm going to just be thinking about how they had to animate the pretty women.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be thinking about...
And they're patting themselves on the back for doing 2 whole women, you guys. 2.
whole women. What? And guess what? They're both white.
You know, it's really weird that like now they're all trying to step up their action sequences because they want boys to come and see it. So that's why they're having all these different more like action thrill things. Like that's the whole thing that they were talking about Tangled, about making it like showing off Flynn Rider first because they wanted to connect boys.
Although that was funny.
I mean, it was funny, but like they want him to show off first before they show off Tangled.
Well, see, now I'm upset about that. I didn't watch princess movies when I was younger due to the fact that princesses to me were just like, oh, they're pretty women and meh, and I want to be a tomboy. So like it's not appealing to like tomboy girls either, because like they want something more like I guess they want something more like Tangled, but they don't really care if the men are always doing the action. Women can do action too. That's why I like Tangled, because she used her hair and she was cool.
She looked pretty while she was doing it though.
Yeah, well, good job, Disney animators. They're just so fantastic.
Lino, what's his name? I don't remember.
Lino.
So, all right, moving on. Next piece of short news. There's some Star Wars Episode 8 Episode 7. Sorry. Casting rumors flying around that soon they will announce the casting, although this was posted a week ago and there have been no announcements made, so perhaps this was a false alarm. Still rumored that Mark Hamill, aka original Luke Skywalker, will be reprising his role as Luke Skywalker, and possibly that Ian McGregor will be coming back to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. But
Star Wars is completely like original. It's not based on a book or anything, right?
Correct. There are many books based on the movie.
Yeah.
Based on the movie, but it's not. Okay.
Yes.
Lightsaber fights.
That's
And
really interesting. Sorry.
oh, go for it.
No, just like that's really interesting because a lot of the big franchises that come out are always about movies. Like even like ones that came out before. And I just didn't. I just thought assumed that
We're really in like a book heavy adaptation like era right now. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, so, like, it's weird with this new episode of Star Wars coming out, because it's like George Lucas was so good for 3 movies, and then he just destroyed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
And then, he sold LucasArts to Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like...
I really think it was the money.
Yeah, but goddamn, those 3 first movies were so great.
Yeah.
And then,
there's something to be said for limited technology and limited... I mean, obviously Star Wars had a huge budget, but just like...
I don't know, even with the limited stuff, like, I thought they were great.
No, I think what I'm saying is that's what helped, because you have to be creative when you have limits. And when you have the ability to make a Jar Jar Binks, then you can make a Jar Jar Binks and ruin everything.
I don't understand how he can ruin his own creations. That feels like really like a stab in the heart. It's just
That's true.
ruining your own like things, and everyone was like,
I like Jar Jar.
Don't talk to me about Jar Jar. All right, so that'll be directed by J.J. Abrams, which I cry about frequently.
what is it called? The lens flare.
Lens flare. All right, next piece of news. Ben Affleck made a statement saying he knows Runner Runner is bad. We talked about this movie last week, and we condemned Ben Affleck for being in such a bad movie. Guys, he knows...
Justin Timberlake.
And Justin Timberlake. Guys, he knows it's bad, so it's all
Maybe he
fine.
should have directed it, and it would have been good. That's all I'm saying, Ben,
it was
is
almost
direct.
worst. This was the Hollywood Reporter writes that Affleck knew it was so bad that he offered to bring in his editor William Goldberg to help, and then because he won an Oscar and Argo, so apparently he improved the film. So it was going to be way worse.
It was going to be way worse, you guys.
Oh man,
Ben Affleck was like, "Oh God, come on, editors, let's pull it together, something watchable." So that's a fun bit of news.
You should have directed it. That's all I'm saying, Ben.
Oh, this is very recent and kind of shocking news. So Charlie Hunnam, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Drops out of 50 Shades of Grey. He was going to be the lead role in this new BDSM movie of the novel, of the fan fiction.
Yeah, he left because
the other book.
Yeah, he left because of scheduling conflicts with the Sons of Anarchy, because apparently it was going to start filming tomorrow, but Sons of Anarchy started October 11th, so yeah, 2 days ago or something.
Yeah, and also Sons of Anarchy has kind of taken off a little bit more than they were expecting, I guess. And also, I don't know. My opinion is that Charlie Hunnam made a very good decision, not just because of the movie, but due to the fact that he just got a ton of press and didn't actually have to do anything.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone knows his name now, but he never had to. But he won't get paid.
Yeah, I mean,
but
he's
like
coming off of,
he's getting paid for Sons of Anarchy, and like he's gonna get more movie deals out of it.
I mean, he's just like a typical looking actor, action guy. Like,
I love Charlie Hunnam. Okay, do you know where he got his start?
Queer as Folk.
Queer as Folk.
Oh.
The British version, he played the 15-year-old kid in the British version of Queer as Folk.
He does not look 15 anymore.
Shout out to Nathan from Queer as Folk.
Yeah, because Nathan from Queer as Folk is listening to this podcast.
No, he's Nathan from Queer as Folk.
I know, but you said shout out to him as if he was going to receive your shout out. And be like, thanks, Abby.
Also, shout out to Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. Love you too.
Thanks for listening, Jax.
And whatever your name was in Pacific Rim.
Wow.
I mean, he looks like just like Sam Worthington, who was like in that Avatar movie. So like he's gonna find roles.
He'll be fine.
It's
yeah,
not gonna be a big deal.
I mean, I don't know. There's so much backlash against 50 Shades of Grey that maybe this was a smart move, and I wonder if that also went into it.
Probably.
Even though he says it's scheduling conflicts, I was thinking,
me too. Maybe he just didn't want to do it.
Because Robert Pattinson has really lost a lot of his street cred, I feel like, after Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Except I feel like he gained it back by the fact that he hates Twilight.
I think he did that on purpose because he realized he was losing his street cred. I don't know if he's gained it back, because you say Robert Pattinson and like 50 guys in the room will start groaning. They hate him now.
But for me, like, bring it.
Cedric.
I love me some Robert Pattinson. I think he's great.
For me too. Do you remember when his most famous thing was Harry Potter and everyone's like, you're putting Cedric in Twilight? That's going to be so weird. Everyone's just going to think of him as Cedric Diggory. And
no.
that didn't work out.
So this next piece of news, I wonder who put this in here. Could someone else maybe elaborate on it? Because I didn't really understand it.
So, Julian Assange, who is the founder of WikiLeaks, was not happy when the Fifth Estate was made, and it came out during, I think, the Toronto Film Festival, and I think maybe Cannes. I don't know. But he sent a letter to Benedict Cumberbatch, who played him in the Fifth Estate, saying that he respects his roles. He's a big fan, but you were in a piece of shit. Like basically he's like in a piece of shit.
That
it's
doesn't
all fake.
Sound like respect.
It's all like rude. Like it's not like real. They're trying to like make my name wrong. This guy who wrote the book is trying to slander me. Everything's bad. And then
everything's bad.
Cumberbatch came back and said that. That even though he respects Julian Assange's whatever words, that he's defending the movie, and because
what I've gotten from Julian Assange's kind of personality is that he would probably do that. So I'm not sure that I don't really know who's right, because like it's such kind of like a big thing that it probably got blown out of proportion. So I just honestly don't know who was right in this situation and who's wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick up for Benedict Cumberbatch just because I love him.
He said that.
Is that all right?
So it says Assange apparently accused. It's like made Cumberbatch examine his motivations for making the Fifth Estate. He accuses me of being a hired gun, as if I am easily bought like cipher for the right-wing propaganda.
Whoa.
And then Cumberbatch says, not only do I not operate in a moral vacuum, but this way...
Whoa, he's using some big words.
This was not a payday for me at all. I've worked far less hard for more financial reward. This project was more important to me because of the integrity I wanted to bring to a provocative, difficult, but ultimately timely and truly important figure of our modern times. So
yeah, I'm gonna stick up for Benedict here.
Yeah,
that's a pretty articulate quote. I wonder if he thought about that and like typed it up, or if he just said that spontaneously.
He was in a AMA on Reddit.
Oh, okay. So he had some time to think about his words.
Yeah.
So he's not just like that articulate.
Also, he's like a posh British man, so he's pretty articulate anyway.
Yeah, but like, what did he say? Like morality, integrity.
There's a comment down here that says Assange better watch out. Bitches will F him in.
Send him backlash.
Oh God, it's true and it's sad. Okay, so next piece of news. I'm too loud. Okay, next piece of news.
Not way too loud, but just
weird movie posters for Nymphomaniac. Yeah. I don't know anything about this movie.
So it's Lars von Trier's sexual fantasia, which follows the erotic life of a woman from birth to the age of 50. gets an array of these are like these are the posters that are coming out for this.
She just look like she's having sex right now.
So yeah, but there's like some of them are really weird. Like if we just
we'll put a link and look, check out these posters, listeners. We'll put a link in the doobly doo. Whoa,
everybody nude.
Connie Nielsen.
It's literally like everyone's
orgasm face. This one's the worst.
Jamie Bell.
What is that called? Your vinegar.
Your O face?
Something.
Jess Alba.
Shout out to people who watch The League. You'll know what I'm talking about.
That one's intense.
Whoa, wait. Go back to this one.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf is in it? Go to the next one.
Oh. He looks like a pimp. He's just like, whatever, I'm smoking a cigarette.
While having sex.
This is so
and he's got a tattoo going on.
This must have been a really weird shoot, but...
Stellan Skarsgård! Oh my god!
Okay, everyone check out these posters because they are hilarious.
These are great.
What is going on? I like
Uma
hers
Thurman.
so like
Willem Dafoe. No, I never wanted to see that.
It's like all of these people half nude.
It's over.
Making sex faces.
Lars von Trier, didn't he do that film we had to do in Pat Day's class last year? About like the bus bus full of children that falls into the lake.
No, that was Adam Eagleman.
Okay.
All I know is he was.
What did Lars von Trier just do that I know
he did
about?
Melancholia, I think.
Maybe Melancholia.
Which was...
What was the name? Why can't I remember? We had to write a paper about that damn movie. What was it?
The bus movie?
Yeah.
This is The Sweet Hereafter.
The Sweet Hereafter.
I liked that movie.
Yeah, it was good. I wish I didn't have to dissect it and rewrite it. Pat Day, shout out to you.
Melancholia, which was a very interesting, long-ass movie.
Oh, I was about to say, he's doing Nymphomaniac, but that makes sense. So.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's all really interesting. The erotic life of a woman from birth to her 50s. Oh.
That is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I kind of sort of still want to see it like in the theater.
I'll probably see it with your mom.
I think it might be too sexy for me.
Maybe go see it with your dad.
My mom does not want to. What's called got mad when my sister took her to see Don John too.
Wow.
So.
All right. Well, next piece of news is this film, Blue is the Warmest Color, will not be shown in Idaho theaters. They are banning the movie because of the NC-17 rating. And the theater owner, I don't know if the theater owner owns all of these theaters in Idaho, or like what's up with that?
It's the Flicks Theater. Oh, it's the art house theater that they're not going to show it
Okay, so it will be shown sometimes in Idaho, just not at this particular theater?
I don't think it'll be shown at any theaters in Idaho.
Really? So this guy controls all of the theaters in Idaho?
No, it's like because... Idaho is very, very conservative, but it's also because it's an art house film. It won't be shown
so it wasn't widespread. It wasn't widespread release.
Yeah, this is a French film. It's not going to be shown. Wow.
Well, this is a film about lesbians. It looks like, based on this picture.
It's like a coming of age lesbian film, but it's like. She tells THR that the theater's liquor license is tied to Idaho.
What?
It's like all these different.
That has nothing to do with it.
Which prohibits films featuring acts or stimulated acts of sexual intercourse, masturbation, sodomy, bestiality, oral copulation, flagellation, or any sexual acts which are prohibited.
All movies have sex in them.
Any person being touched, caressed, or fondled on the breast, buttocks,
buttocks or genitals.
What art house film is this?
I was gonna say, if you're an art house thing, that's every movie that goes to art house.
The difference is this is lesbians.
Yeah, word.
But
Rage Against the Patriarchy.
Yeah. So wow. Also, one of the lesbians has blue hair, so that also shakes things up a bit.
I think her name is Blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think
that's why it's called Blue is the Warmest Color.
Oh, it's all coming together. So, yep, good for you, Idaho. Keep on keeping on with your potatoes and your conservative backwards values. Okay.
No offense to people from Idaho. It can be a very lovely place.
Yeah, I'm sure. Shout out to Idaho. Shout out to Idaho. We love you. Okay, next piece of news
we have a lot of news today.
I know we do have a lot of news today, and I've forgotten what this is. Oh yeah, concept art for Avatar. A theme park in Orlando for the movie Avatar, which came out in 2009, is coming up. So they've released some concept art. It's pretty beautiful, but
the Avatar with the blue people, right?
Yeah.
right, not Avatar: The Last Airbender, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's worst ever movie.
Yeah, it's the World of Pandora, which is going to be in Animal Kingdom, hopefully in 2017. So
I'm surprised it took them this long to get on this because they could make. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant now. Everyone's forgotten about this movie, honestly.
It looks beautiful.
It does.
look at this boat ride. I am so I've never been to Animal Kingdom because it's usually set kind of sort of for kids.
Yeah.
But I will go to this.
Yeah,
I will
definitely.
be pumped to go to Animal Kingdom. I've never been there, and I'm just like.
This is definitely a chance for them to get some kind of like pop culture. And I have been to the Animal Kingdom, and it's kind of boring, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, they have the Lion King.
yeah,
I've never been there. I just know that.
I mean, let's be honest, Magic Kingdom's where it's at. But
I love me some Epcot though.
Epcot, love me some Epcot because of the food.
Yeah.
Actually, I pretty much love me some Universal Studios.
Oh.
But
Universal Studios is a little too much for me. It's like being hit on the head constantly.
With movies.
Yeah.
With movies. Oh my god.
we don't like movies.
And we don't like movies over here. So yeah, that'll be exciting. But I am surprised it took them this long to get on this. One last short piece of news that I just wanted to announce for you guys is that actor Kumar Pallana has died at 94. He is, or was, I guess, a Native American film actor who has been
He's from India.
Oh, born in India. Where did I say Native American?
And
Taking roles of Native Americans in Westerns. Oh. Wow. My bad, you guys.
He was born in India in 1918. Wow.
He was owed.
He was owed.
He was in Rushmore, the Royal Tenenbaums, the Darjeeling Limited. I don't know how to say it. Darjeeling.
It's hard to say. But yeah, so a Wes Anderson favorite, and he has died, so rest in peace, Kumar Pallana, who is Indian, not Native American. I am a racist. Okay. So, shall we go into box office? Maya, you got some box office news for us coming up?
Yeah. Okay, so things are looking good for Gravity to stay number one. They've made on Friday about $12.7 million, and Captain Phillips came in around about 8.5. And
Go
so
Captain Phillips.
It says that it's going to be opening around, I don't know, about $40 million possibly this weekend. But it says that it's been the lowest decline in history for a film that opened over $50 million. So it's only fell about 18% since the second.
So
week.
pretty much everyone saw it last week.
Yeah.
And it says Gravity's North American total was 91.9 million through Friday, and it will cross the 100 mark sometime on Saturday.
Wow.
And then it says the movie should hit 175 million by Sunday. Damn.
Like I said, making back all that money.
Yeah, so it's things that
for the on-location shots in space.
So Captain Phillips made about 8.2, and it's maybe on the course to earning about $25 million. And then they have Machete Kills. Machete. Is, I think, coming in like fourth with about $1.4 million.
Runner is on this list?
Yeah, Runner got about 1.1 million.
All right.
But,
despite the fact that Don John is doing so poorly.
Yeah.
Which I'm sad about, I feel like.
It's made about 18 million, which I mean is good because it was an independent film, so it's not that big of a deal, but I guess it's still big. And then Cloudy's still up there with
God damn
Friday
it, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
with still estimates about 3.5.
Why are you all still seeing this movie?
So
it's so weird.
Because it's for little kids, and little kids don't all go opening weekend because they have parents that are like, I can't go this weekend, man. I got work. And then work.
Wait, is that how they sound?
But we'll go next weekend.
They sound like frat bros.
We go next weekend. They sound like Italian.
Yeah,
like
now
mafia.
they sound Italian mafias. We'll make you an offer you can't refuse. We go Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs. Now it's Russian. I can't do it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. So what's coming up?
What's coming up? Okay,
I want the world to know.
On October 18th, Carrie will be coming out, which is the remake of the 1970 something, I don't know, just like 70 something Stephen King novel, Carrie movie. So this one's with Chloe Grace Moretz, and it's just a girl with weird powers. And then
that was
Limited comes out is for Limited it's 12 Years a Slave, which is about
I heard that's good.
I'm so excited.
It's a true story about this man Solomon Northup, who was a free man in the North, taken back into slavery because I think mostly of the Fugitive Slave Act, and worked 12 years. And that one has been getting a lot of buzz. The Fifth Estate is coming out.
We talked about that a few minutes ago.
We just did.
In case you forgot.
Yeah, Kill Your Darlings is coming out in New York and LA.
I'm so excited.
And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. All right.
I can't wait to see Kill Your Darlings.
Oh, do you want me to talk about what's coming up in the next week because we're not going to be here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because what is happening?
Yeah,
Fall break?
we're going on midterms and fall break, so we're not going to be giving you an episode next week, but I'm sure you wouldn't have listened to it anyways.
We'll be back. So for the next week, we have Blue is the Warmest Color Limited. It's about a coming-of-age French lesbian film. We have Jackass.
Oh, it's French.
Yeah, Jackass presents Bad Grandpa.
Oh, God.
And then we have The Counselor, which is a Ridley Scott film featuring all these different people. Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender,
right?
Penelope Cruz, Javier Bardem, but I have no idea what this movie's about. And I think that's it.
All right, is it time for trailer talk?
Trailer trash talk?
Maya suggested trailer trash talk in compromise to trailer talk.
Trash talk.
But I don't know. I don't feel like we're trash talking these trailers necessarily.
I feel like we're going to.
We're
right
going
now.
to.
We're about to.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about this first trailer we're gonna watch, Maya?
Okay, we're gonna watch I, Frankenstein. It came out on Tuesday, and this is like the first really big look since Comic-Con. And this features Aaron Eckhart, Bill Nye, Miranda Otto, and it's supposed to be release date is
Bill Nye or Bill Nye?
Bill Nye.
Okay, so not the science guy. Not the science guy.
I thought they call him Bill Nye, and then just like apparently that's his. Okay.
Oh really? Maybe it is Bill. I always say Bill Nye to distinguish between science guy.
Okay. All right. And this is coming out January 24th of
what's the name of this movie?
I, Frankenstein.
All right, here we go. Press and play. Viewers, watch along if you want.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the doobly-doo.
Yeah.
I mean, viewers, listeners.
This is gonna come out really loud.
Can you make it brighter?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's loud. Well, there's something with what? Person
is this like
wings.
Romans? This does not look like Frankenstein. This looks like 300.
But with wings.
And candles.
It's really
Frankenstein. The rumors are true.
Whoa.
Oh.
Lionsgate. That just makes me think of Hunger Games.
I was given life 200 years ago.
This is like a really interesting spin on.
Like none other.
What? Now they're in the club? Like, what up? I got a bolt in my head.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going between like Roman and modern
Whoa,
time.
and Buckbeak!
No, it's a dude with wings.
Oh,
wait, no. Oh,
but
it's like gargoyles.
I go my own way.
Gotta go my own way.
He doesn't even look like Frankenstein.
I'm really confused.
Oh, what is happening?
Oh.
Producer of Underworld?
Oh, there's a girl.
Monsters like me, tens of thousands of them. Could mean the end of all mankind.
Okay, I do not. Well, now there's like men in business suits and like. Okay.
What?
Now people are committing
What?
suicide in mass amounts.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Now they all have superpowers. This thriller is all over the place. Fire.
It's January.
Oh my god. What? It's actually a lady.
The gargoyles are turning into people?
It's like bats and vampires. Bill Nye. Oh god, Bill Nye, no.
I'm really confused.
This is so weird.
Is it Roman? Is it modern? Or is it like
Sci-fi? Is it
king and queen?
Well,
like,
it's not. This is not
Victorian.
Frankenstein.
Well, that's a sweet axe, though.
Yeah. I also think the animation looks kind of weird, like video game like.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh, the castle is coming down.
Everything's going wrong.
Everything's going wrong. I Frankenstein.
That's like iRobot.
I know, I was just thinking about iRobot.
I'm just really confused.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Okay, so is this supposed to be like, it's not a sci-fi film that usually Frankenstein is. It's more of a fantasy film.
It's like fantasy thriller.
This guy looks handsome. I don't know. I would not be
Yeah.
afraid of Frankenstein.
No, I'd be
This
like...
looks like, I don't know what that movie came out. It was like it looks like those like demons. I don't know. It's just like I just don't know. It looks just like January, like the January dump, where you don't even know where everything is like. It's just things.
Like everything in January is like either for an Oscar or it's just terrible.
I didn't know about this phenomenon, the January dump.
Yeah, it's called the January dump because it's basically post Oscars, and then it's not like between like January and March, not really a bunch of good films come out, and so it's just like January dump, so everything gets left.
So I Frankenstein.
I Frankenstein.
This movie has everything.
I don't like the title at all, too. Maybe they should call it Frankenstein Demon Hunter.
Frankenstein Demon
It would
Hunter.
be perfect.
Abraham Lincoln Frankenstein Hunter.
Frankenstein Hunter.
We should have like Abraham Lincoln meets Frankenstein.
I'm confused.
Yeah, there were like, but I was confused. Okay, so like it kind of looked like it started out in Roman times, but then all of a sudden they were in modern
in
times.
the club,
and they were bopping in the club. But then at one point there was like some queens, and I thought they were in Victorian times. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's weird. It's like it goes back and like I think it's a fantasy film, so it comes back from the age, and then it's supposed to come up because there's all these gargoyles fighting.
It's a lot of ground to cover.
I know.
Yeah, there's like gargoyles fighting, but when they land, they turn into people with wings. I'm confused.
Sometimes beautiful ladies. The title of this film...
Yeah, they are hard to animate. Maybe
they're so hard
trying.
to animate, so... The title of this film reminds me of, like, a marriage, like, acceptance or whatever. Like, I, Frankenstein, take thy Rachel. Did he say Rachel? But... Because, like, there's, like, the bride of Frankenstein, So it's kind of like, I Frankenstein.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go see it.
Take you, Abraham Lincoln, to be my hunting partner.
This
has to be based off of something. Like, it has to be based off of, like,
I think it's based off of nothing.
Because,
like nothing
I think it's based off of Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's based off of Frankenstein, but, like, how would they come up with that? Okay.
There's just, like, too many things. Okay. Too many dicks on the dance floor.
So, we'll
Also, I'm really annoyed because you know what? Frankenstein in the original, he's not the monster. He's the doctor that makes the monster.
Yeah.
It just annoys me when people get that wrong.
Now more people are going to get that wrong.
Yeah. Frankenstein is the doctor. He makes the monster.
Right.
Which is the dude, but like...
I remember the dicks in elementary school would always like, oh, you're Frankenstein. You're like, oh, you mean Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah.
And I was like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean.
Shout out to Young Frankenstein because that is the greatest Frankenstein movie.
I haven't seen it.
Gene Wilder, man. Gene Wilder.
We'll watch it. All right, so why don't you tell us about this next trailer we're going to watch, Maya?
Okay, so the next one we're going to watch is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty official trailer. What is it? So this film is directed by Ben Stiller, and Ben Stiller was he also wrote this film ?
Ben Stiller writes things?
Yeah. Oh, this is like
starring Ben Stiller, Kristen Wiig. Oh, Adam
Shirley
Scott.
MacLaine, Adam Scott, Sean Penn.
This sounds fun.
And it's I've seen the teaser trailer, which was very interesting. So hopefully this matches up. It looks epic, so let's check a look.
All right.
For someone.
Is this like in the night supposed to be modern day?
Yeah, modern day.
Okay.
Well, you left a lot of this stuff blank. Well, I haven't really been anywhere.
Try to send a wink.
Have you done anything noteworthy, vegetable?
Oh, he's just a sad person.
Ben Stiller. You can tell they like dyed his hair to make him look younger.
Of publishing the very last issue of Life magazine.
Adam Scott, he's got a beard. No, shave it.
For the final issue,
I love this song.
received negative 25 from Sean O'Connell for the cover.
Oh, he's a photographer.
It's 25. It's not there. I know.
Look what I found!
Where are you going, Abby?
Travel journal Dad gave us.
Abby has left us.
Kristen looks so pretty.
Yeah, she looks really pretty in that. They usually kind of make her... What the fuck?
She moves like a woman.
What?
I'd like to climb your hair.
What is happening?
Oh, wow.
What is it you call it when he goes into one of his little places? Thumb down.
Oh, she's famous. Who's that?
Shirley Thing.
Oh, yeah.
I lost the picture.
I like mysteries. You should know. Crack the case.
You were shot.
Wait, now he has grayer hair.
He finishes work.
You're right. What the fuck? What is happening?
So apparently, I think there's a photo missing, and he's gonna go and find it.
But the photos are moving. Hey, it's John Lennon. Oh, so it's kind of like a fantastical story. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's just swimming.
Oh my god. It's like Captain Phillips.
Except not at all.
Whoa, I did not expect this to go. This looks really cool.
You are safe! Not just yours. That's what I said!
Life is about courage and going into the unknown.
Oh.
Oh, this looks cool, actually.
It does look really cool. I'm excited.
I like fantastical movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Ben Stiller with his salt and pepper hair.
Yeah. I also like Ben Stiller when he plays, like, less ridiculous characters.
Hey man, where are you now? Himalayas? I'm not gonna keep this short. I have to make oxygen choices.
That looks pretty cool.
This movie is based off of the, I think it's like the original movie, which came out in the 40s, which I think is based off a book. I think that's how it goes.
Okay.
But
The reason
yeah,
I
it's-
believe is because someone was like out there, and I thought maybe someone reserved this room, but no
That
one
they
reserved
didn't.
This room.
He was like, okay, so a dude came up to the window right before Maya played this trailer and was like about to open the door, and I was like giving him the hand signals to not open the door, and then he was like, oh yeah, opening the door, and I was like, no, do not open the door.
And then he gave us a really weird look for like 30 seconds.
yeah, and I was
before
like,
he left.
leave. Can you not read the sign that says don't enter?
So I was just checking to see if like
wrong.
Unless you spelled disturb as please disturb, yes.
Like, so do not, maybe it's did not disturb. And then
Which in his language means please come in.
well, because I don't know, it was just about to be noon, so I was like, maybe someone had it reserved for noon, but no one has it reserved, so suck my dick.
Suck my dick, dude who can't read.
Okay, so yeah, it looks really interesting. It looks really cool. I think I like Ben Affleck going into these. It sort of has like this Wes Anderson vibe.
It does. I was thinking that.
and
Definitely
then
has a
'cause
Wes
he's,
Anderson vibe.
So maybe influenced by a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I've seen Tropic Thunder, which he also directed, which was really fun.
That was a really funny movie.
It's just a funny movie. So I'm
What do you
excited.
mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
So I'm excited. So
Yeah.
good Christmas film. It looks like.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. I think.
It's a good one to see Christmas Day.
Yeah.
My family
That'll be
and I
a good
always go to a
one.
movie on
Me
Christmas
too.
Day.
Me
Oh,
too.
we don't.
And then we get Chinese food.
Nice.
We don't do
Because
that.
we rock the non-Christians.
I go to.
But your family isn't your family Catholic?
No.
Then why do you go to Catholic school?
Because it was the best school in my area. I didn't want to go to the horrible public school down the street.
Abby's parents thinking about her education.
Shout out
Sacrificing
to
her religion.
Bishop Watterson High School and how much you suck dick.
Shout out. Probably someone from your high school will listen to this eventually.
That's okay. They know because they went there that it sucks dick.
Okay. Well, shall we transition into our next segment, which is a see wait skip? Can you do the
See, wait, skip.
see wait skip? See wait skip.
And see, wait, and
I liked last week, Maya. You did
We were
a
like,
see wait skip.
all right.
So this week we went to Illyria. We trekked all the way over to Illyria to
Yeah, it was
see.
last night.
Well, last night, okay, to see Captain Phillips for y'all, which will be coming to the Apollo next week, probably.
Yeah.
Although it was supposed to come
it was
this
supposed
week.
to come
It was
out
supposed
this
to come
week,
this
but
week.
because of distribution things,
Yeah.
and like licensing, they had to keep it thing cloudy with a chance of meatballs 2 for another week. So that,
I mean, I'm even getting tired of that movie, and I loved that. The
Yeah.
puns are great.
so yeah.
Puns are great.
So
So basically, Captain Phillips. I'm just gonna read the IMDb synopsis of it. So it's The true story of Captain Richard Phillips and the 2009 hijacking by Somali pirates of the U.S.-flagged MV Maersk, Alabama, the first American cargo ship to be hijacked in 200 years. I actually did not know that little piece of
Yeah,
trivia.
me neither until I read that.
But yeah, if anyone remembers, it was in 2009. It was a big thing in the news that there was an American ship got hijacked in Somali waters. It was all over the news, a big like Navy rescue mission kind of thing. I don't know. What did you guys think about it? Who wants to go first?
I can go first if you guys want.
Anna took notes on a napkin.
Let me take out my napkin where I took some notes during the movie in the dark, so I don't know if I can read all of them. Okay. Let's see.
She also brought in a sandwich.
I also brought in a sandwich. I am a busy lady, and I don't always have time to eat in the appropriate setting. So, I liked the first half of this movie, sort of, although I had some problems with it. After I've thought about it for a day, I feel like maybe I like it more than I did when I was watching it. At first I was really thrown off by the handheld camera thing that they were doing, which was...
That was very apparent in the beginning.
Yeah, it was very apparent in the beginning. It was really distracting, and, like, I feel like they were trying to make you feel more in the narrative, you know? But for me, it did the opposite. It took me out of the narrative, and it made me really aware of the cameraman. But then when you pan around to... Or they would switch to another shot, and, like... You almost expect there to be a cameraman there, like it was a documentary, but then of course there wasn't. So that was distracting. And
wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
Are we gonna put a spoiler warning on this?
Oh, I mean, it's a true story.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just say spoiler just in case, because it was a true story, and I feel like I'm gonna forget which parts are important because I've known the story for a long time.
I mean, it's a true story. You should know how the story ends. If not, follow the news, man. Come on, keep up.
Also, and if not, spoiler.
Spoiler.
And also something that was distracting was, like, Tom Hanks was, like, from Vermont, and I feel like maybe at the beginning he was, like, trying to do, like, a New England accent, which was weird, but obviously his Tom Hanks Southern accent just bled through, and by the end of the movie it was just, like, completely Southern. Maybe it just took a while for me to adjust to it, but,
You know he's not from Southern. He's from...
Where's he from?
He's from Los Angeles.
Why does he have that
I thought it's
Southern drawl?
It's like a weird royal, like, I don't know, like, not a royal, but it's like his, like, weird accent that he just puts on as when he's acting. It's just like a...
But that's how he sounds normally, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not Southern.
I thought his family was Southern.
You
Maybe I'm
think,
making
like,
that up.
Forrest Gump, he's definitely...
No, his parents are from California.
Oh, I lied.
That's so weird. I literally thought he was from, like, Alabama or something. Okay. Well, never mind. Well, Tom Hanks sounded weird with his New England accent in this movie, and it was distracting. So, I don't know. The movie sort of tried to, I think, complicate the characters of the Somalians, which I appreciated, but I felt they could have done more. Because I sympathized with the Somalians, but I'm not sure that everyone did, or that everyone in the theater did. And then there's definitely a point where you completely lose sympathy for the pirates, and you're totally with Tom Hanks because they're just, like, torturing him in this lifeboat. They reached a point where I felt like the audience would be happy if these Somalians got shot. And
really?
That made me feel uncomfortable.
I never reached that point.
I don't know.
But that was just... Well, I guess for two of them I did. There's a kid in it. He's like maybe 15, 16, and he's one of the Somalis, and I never reached that point with him. Because I felt like his character was more developed, maybe.
Yeah. And, like, they sort of did try to develop the characters. Yeah, the younger kid, I think they did a good job of kind of giving him a backstory of having a sister that he was trying to get this money for or whatever.
His name was Bilal, and he's played by Barkhad... I'm going to mispronounce this... Abdurrahman.
Yeah. And then the captain of the Somalians, Muse, they sort of tried to complicate him, and eventually they did get to a sort of backstory of I want to go to America.
I really liked him.
But I also felt like the scene at the beginning where they kind of tried to parallel, like, first they have Tom Hanks in his, like, suburban Vermont home with his, like, wife, who is Catherine Keener, by the way. I didn't know this. That was Catherine Keener. Why did they put Catherine Keener in the movie and then give her, like, 2 lines? And, like... just such a waste of Catherine Keener.
There was only 2 women in this entire movie. So.
Yeah. But, like, you get Catherine Keener for your movie, like, give her more than 1 scene. I don't know. But anyways, so they, like, kind of give him the backstory. He's got his family life, and then they kind of try to juxtapose that with the Somali backstory. But that scene in Somalia at the beginning before the pirates take off was, I felt like really weird, and I almost got the impression that it was like an afterthought that maybe they added. And I might be wrong about this, but like it was just strange. And I almost have the feeling that they just put a cameraman down there and just like filmed some shit. I don't know. But it was a strange...
But, I don't know. The captain of the Somalis was played by Barkad Abdi. And I don't know. I thought he did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah. He was great. But also there's the fact that they just like went to Somalia and picked up... I don't know. It's strange. I'm going to say wait on this because it was definitely well done. Tom Hanks did an amazing job acting, and it's a really tense movie. But too long... For one, it was like too intense for too long. Like eventually it lost its intensity, and I don't know if it's gonna stick with me. So I'm gonna say wait on this one.
Cool.
Do you want to go or do I want to go?
You can go.
Okay. So I like this film, but I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it. But I just like when I was thinking about it, it just reminded me a lot about Zero Dark 30, and they had so much buzz going into it that it's like this remarkable film, and then when you see it, it drags on, and it just felt like more like a documentary movie or a dramatization of what happened rather than an actual film that I felt increasingly like enjoying. And I just like at the end I just felt like, who was I, like, did I feel anything? Did I like come off of it like feeling something? And I didn't really. But maybe because I was really tired that day, but also maybe just because I just didn't feel anything. But I did like, one of the highlights for me was the acting in this film. I thought Tom Hanks did a really great job. This was one of his better performances in a long time that he's came out with, because a lot of the movies he's came out with has not been that great of a movie. Yeah. But I mean, he's done fine in them. But this one definitely was a really strong film.
If you go to see this, make sure to pay close attention to the very end. His acting in the very end is like incredible. Yeah,
it's really like it breaks down a character that doesn't happen a lot with male characters, and puts them in a vulnerable position like that because they're always supposed to be tough, and
but also very realistically, especially for like a sea captain.
Yeah, sea captain that's in his 50s, like pretty on point. I really liked it. I really liked the 4 Somalis that were part of this, Somalians that were part of this. I think that they did a really great job being non-actors, and they were given good direction, so I would really praise that. I think that some of the dialogue before they got onto the boat was a little awkward that I didn't appreciate. Yeah. But when they got on the boat, especially with the Tom Hanks part of it, when they got on the boat, I thought it was very good, and I thought it was very realistic, but it just felt like a lot of it was just like, here's what's happening on the boat, then here's what the armed forces, like the Air Force,
the movie really did not pick up until they saw that like boat on the radar, I felt like.
Yeah, and there was some connections with themes of like the American dream and being in like what's called this like dream of being a better thing, but I felt like they didn't go deep enough. I feel we were talking about like motivations between each character, and even though they did a little bit of it within one of the younger characters, I felt that we didn't have that much within some of the characters. But we know that these guys are fishermen, and all they need to do is pay their boss. Like, so they're like, they're pirates, even though they were originally fishermen or trying to be fishermen, but they know that like a lot of these sea people that come around them have like been messing with their things, but it just like, there just didn't seem like a more of a reason why, or more of an in-depth reason, and I think we were starting to get that, but I just felt like it didn't go enough.
Also, I think they didn't introduce it early enough. It was like hour 2 before we got the real reason, I think, behind why they had to get all of this money, because they tried to make a point where like they're like, the Americans came in the water and like now we can't have any of our fish, but that was like hour 2 before we got there, so I wish they'd done that earlier.
So what do you think? See you later, Skip.
I think if you really like Tom Hanks and you really we really wanted to see this film, I think it would be a C, but I would give it a low C for me. Probably
a C minus, if
a
you
C
will.
minus, a C minus. And I think I think for me, like if you didn't really care much for this movie or had this, I think you could just wait for it to come on DVD. I think it wouldn't be that make much difference, or even wait until it gets into a lower theater. Yeah, I mean, but if you're really into seeing Tom Hanks and you're really, really interested in this film, I think you would really like it. So, yeah, I mean, overall, for me, I would give it a wait. But for people who really into this, a C.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go. I loved this movie. I really liked it. Especially you were talking about kind of the American dream aspect of it, and I thought they did a really good job because one of the captain guy, Muse, he kind of talks about during the movie, when he's talking to Tom Hanks's character, Captain Phillips, he's like, I'm gonna go to America, buy a car, made $6 million last time we did this, going to America, I have to pay my boss, but I'll go to America eventually. And it was like at the end, spoiler alert, the captain gets captured and taken to prison in America, and they're like, sorry sir, you're going to America, now you're going to America.
Indiana, the worst of the states.
Yeah, to Terre Haute, Indiana, which is the worst city on the planet. Shout out to Terre Haute or Terrible Haute.
But it was just such a round thing that they're like, oh, I'm sorry sir, you're going to America, and it was his dream to go to America, and then in the end they're like, I'm sorry, you're going to America.
He probably wasn't dreaming of Indiana.
I thought it was maybe slightly the acting that maybe threw it off, because I didn't feel like he wanted to go to America. I thought he was joking, maybe I'll go to America,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do this. I'll get buy a car.
I love America.
Yeah, I'll buy a car. I'll do this. Not serious. I'll go to America. I'll make myself. So
I thought
it was more serious. I thought it was more of a joke thing with Captain Phillips trying to bring him down.
But the four actors that played the four Somalis, especially actually three of them. There was one of them just kind of was the background crazy one, and then there was one that was evil, and then there was the captain, and then there was the kid, and I thought they all did an amazing job, considering I'm not sure that they were actors before this.
They weren't. They just went to Somalia and picked people.
Yeah. But these four did an amazing job, and then Tom Hanks' acting was absolutely amazing despite the accent, but especially the end is just his acting in the end is just incredible. I don't know, I really liked it. I also thought the cinematography was really great considering the incredibly enclosed spaces. I did think that they could have cut the movie by about half an hour. There's the first half of the movie where it takes place on the big ship, and then the second half that takes place on a lifeboat. And I think they could have cut the lifeboat, a ton of scenes from the lifeboat.
Lifeboat really dragged.
Yeah. I didn't want to be on the edge of my seat.
Right. We were talking about that. I am tired of being on the edge of my seat. I would like to sit in the back of my seat and use the backrest. And let's go see a romantic comedy, you guys.
But, so, I don't know. I really loved Captain Phillips. And I actually, right before we went to see it, my dad texted me and was like, I'm about to go see Captain Phillips. I was like, oh, cool, me too. And my dad actually loved it too. I think it might, I don't know, I feel like my dad's generation would probably appreciate it more, maybe. I don't know.
I know my dad's going to hate this movie.
Oh, really?
If my dad listens to this podcast, I keep telling him to, but I know he never will. Dad, I know you hated this movie. Or you will if you saw it.
I don't know. My dad loved it. And so did my mom. But, I don't know. I really liked it. I would say C, especially if you enjoy thriller, military kind of movies. It was definitely, I would say, pretty military.
Even though, it was interesting. One thing I did kind of like about the movie is how much they emphasized how unprepared the people on this boat were, because they weren't military people. They didn't have guns, and they don't know how to shoot guns.
Captain Phillips wasn't military, but
and there was so many faults where. Why were there no armed guards on a ship that they were going through a pirate coast? They were going through pirate area, and they were like, no, you're gonna be fine. Even though there's so many different things.
They really also emphasized how little the emergency line helped out. The first time they called the emergency line when they know pirates are pursuing them, no one picks up. And the second time they're like, well, follow the protocol, and Tom Hanks is like, I know.
We did that.
It?
Yeah. And then, they were like, maybe they're just fishermen.
And they weren't explicit in that criticism, and I wonder if maybe they were worried about, criticizing the military in that way.
Maybe.
But I feel like there were some subtle criticisms of how little the military has helped out with And then at the end, when the SEALs are like just gonna kill everybody, there's some subtle criticisms of the military in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, it was like heartbreaking for me at the end for Captain Phillips, but also kind of for the two of the Somalis.
Right.
The Captain Somali, I felt bad for, and then the kid, because I don't know, he seemed to be, he was innocent. I mean, he wasn't innocent, obviously. He was a pirate and he did these bad things, but he was more
manipulated into doing it.
Yeah, he was manipulated into doing it, and he gets more of a backstory where you can kind of tell that he needs the money more because his sister is selling stuff, and I don't know. I just really enjoyed
I just realized that Paul Greengrass, who directed Captain Phillips, also did United 93.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So maybe that's like why it looked...
He also did a Matt Damon movie. What Matt Damon movie did he do? Paul Greengrass.
Well, anyways, so yep.
We actually don't have a ton of time.
No, we don't have a ton of time. And so we didn't make it to Don John this week, you guys.
Yeah,
like we promised you would. Just scheduling problems, but we'll watch Don John for you next week.
Yeah, over fall break we'll watch Don John for you.
We'll have Don John.
So we won't be here next weekend because of fall break, but the following weekend we're going to come back with a special Halloween episode. Spooky.
Ooh, spooky. Maybe we can make a spooky intro.
Spooky. But
we don't have a ton of time. I have a proposal. What if our discussion this week was a discussion about how we all have a ton of midterms to do and we don't have a ton of time?
Listen.
So we should probably
we all have a walking exam tomorrow.
Maybe cut this off early.
Yeah, I mean, we have like 5 minutes because we started recording early.
Yeah, but we can maybe I don't know. Well, any announcements for this week? We didn't really have any.
The only thing we all saw, the Harry Potter Alliance and the Oberlin Film Series put on Harry Potter and the Order of the Prisoner of Azkaban on the side of mud this week, which was fun as tits. We all went. It was great. There was also a bake sale, so it was really fun.
It was really fun, and I haven't seen the movie in full for a long time. I've seen bits and pieces when
it's my favorite Harry Potter movie.
I know it's a lot of people's favorite Harry Potter movie.
Not mine.
It's it came on ABC Family on like all the time. So like when I saw it in full, it just made me laugh a lot. There was like I just didn't realize how weird the acting is. I mean, it's
the worst acting of all of the movies. I don't know why it's your favorite movie, Abby. I'm sorry.
Because it's great.
Because I think like
he was their friend.
Daniel Radcliffe
overacted
Shout out
a little
to Daniel Radcliffe, who I know is listening.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe
especially since we've ragged on you about your horns.
Right.
Daniel Radcliffe's acting is pretty weird and like
pretty weird.
It's pretty weird, but it was especially the part when he's like, "I'm gonna kill him," and like everyone knew that line and everyone was shouting out those lines. I thought it was so funny. And then
such a serious moment, and everyone was just cracking up.
This one guy came up to us at the end. He like asked me, he's like, "So how would everything like work?" He was just like talking about all these different things, like how would this work out? This is like a plot hole. I don't know if he's read the books or not.
Wait,
or whatever.
Really?
He's like, this
as
is
if he directed the movie.
Yeah, he's like, this is all this and this. And then Edmund was just like, shout out to Edmund who listens to this podcast.
Edmund, we love you.
He was like, I don't know, like, ooh, illusion. And I left.
No, that's how I explain them. Magic.
Yeah, we're like, magic. Like,
why would this guy think that you could explain that? It's not like we directed or wrote this movie.
I don't know. I was just going to be like,
we just put the DVD in the DVD player and press play.
He was very confused. I don't know if that was his first time seeing it or anything, but he just came out. He's like, why is there this and this? How did that possibly happen? This and this and this. It just seems
it's not
weird.
Realistic. Neil deGrasse Tyson probably has some things to say about Prisoner of Azkaban.
Also,
not being scientifically correct.
Also, shout out to Taylor Lynn for help with AV.
Yeah, thanks, Taylor Lynn.
Oh, thank you so much.
And other guy that helped us. I didn't know your name.
I don't want to give him a shout out. He wasn't that helpful.
Oh yeah, that's
true. I had to
boo.
He really did not want to come down and help us. I had to really talk him into that. But so non-shout out to AV guy who wouldn't help me.
But what else was movies this week?
Rocky Horror was this weekend. None of us saw it, but if you guys saw it, hope you had fun at your Rocky Horror viewing.
Yeah, I heard
there was 2 midnight showings of Rocky Horror at the Apollo.
There's a lot of my friend said there's a lot of virgins there who haven't seen Rocky Horror in the theater, and she's a
probably
shout out to Kat Veal. She was because she's seen it a lot of times in the theater. She's just like, all these college kids who have never seen it in the theater, how can they be there? But like she said, it was pretty fun. It was.
we need to cut back on our shout outs, you guys. guess. I just realized
No,
this.
there's
We've
so
done
many
like 10
shout-outs.
shout-outs
But
in this
we
episode.
gotta do a
We
lot.
gotta do the shout-out.
I'm sorry that I shouted out to Idaho and Terrible Hope, but
Yeah. Idaho.
But also, the Oberlin Film Series put on Brick this past weekend.
I don't know how
last
many
night.
people came, but
Because I went to see Captain Phillips
I
instead.
went to see Captain Phillips, and I did some karaoke last night. But I don't know how many people came that, but in 2 weeks when we come back, I'll just do it again. We're having the Cabin in the Woods and Troll 2 for our post Halloween.
Look out for the posters done by me.
I think our main announcement of what's coming up this week is that midterms are coming up. So, dear midterms kids, turn off the podcast and turn on the studying.
Yeah.
Or listen to this while you study if you like to hear the sound of my voice.
The sultry sounds of
the sultry sounds of Abby, Anna, and Maya.
bringing you Chicks Dig Flicks.
Chicks dig flicks, man. All
Sit back, relax, and enjoy a cup of joe.
all jazz, all the time.
Okay. Should we sign off?
Yeah, we should probably sign off.
Hold on. Any other announcements though?
I think the announcement is do your midterms, schedule your, flights to go home for fall break.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that.
Have a great fall break.
Yeah, watch some
Watch the
movies.
movies. Be awesome.
Yeah, talk to us in the comments. Talk to us on Facebook.
Yeah, talk to us in real life.
Talk to us in real life if you know us.
Tell us what you like, what you don't like.
If you don't know us, don't talk to us in real life.
Yeah, stay
not
away
true.
from us. Unless you're hot. I'm sorry.
Unless you're hot.
Holla at you.
Okay, so I guess signing off, I'm Abby.
I'm Anna.
I'm Maya.
This is Chicks Dig Flicks, episode 3.
Bye.
We out.
Yeah.
We out.